Alright nerds, we're back for another beer review. It's Wally here. I'm wearing my Paradise Hop shirt once again. Be sure to check them out on What's Brewing coming up. Today, however, from one of our favorite breweries, Establishment Brewing in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, we are trying part-time model New Zealand Pilsner. So, New Zealand Pilsner, what's that, you ask? Well, they use New Zealand hops to give it a bit of a floral, fruity edge, a bit more bitter than a Kolsch, a bit more malty than your regular Pilsner. Comes in a 473 milliliter can, 5.2%, so fairly standard. Let's crack it. Establishment Brewing, one of the best breweries anywhere. Fight me if you disagree. They are doing outrageous stuff. And again, I said it on the Du du Ciel video, the Moralité, is that in Calgary and Alberta's just going to be the best beer scene around. I mean, that's ego talking and inexperience maybe. But the bevy and the depth of quality is just getting outrageous. Just Establishment alone, and like 4 doors down is Annex Brewing, who makes amazing stuff. And then neighborhood, you have Cabin and 88 and Born Colorado and Outcast and so on and so forth. There's so many good breweries in Calgary. And that's just Calgary. That's not all of Alberta. So anyways, I digress. Alberta is going to be a beer tourism spot very soon, I think. And I'm going to pour this beer into my Captain America glass because, remember, half our names, or half of our name, is nerds. Alright, so beautiful Pilsner golden color. So it's beautiful lagerish golden yellow straw colored, about a one-figure whitehead, very big bubbles on the head. So it'll probably go away fairly quick. Great levels of carbonation. This glass isn't the best, but too bad. You can see a lot of carbonation going through there. And like I said, the head's going down very, very quick because it was like very large bubbles in the head. Right, big air in there. Highly, highly, highly carbonated. All right, so this Pilsner, a lager. Yeah. It's just interesting when a beer tastes like the wrong type. So it's a lager, not an ale. But it's still, or I said taste, smells like, or tastes like the wrong type. Because it does have that like lager maltiness. That sweetness you get from the malts and wheats and everything. Almost adjunct. But there's a fair amount of floralness and fruitiness to it. All right, well, there isn't much depth to it because it's a Pilsner. We know what to expect. But I assume it's going to be a little bit more bitter. And a little bit more fruity. Let's check it out. It's really interesting when you have a lager. You know it's a lager immediately. Like, even a blind taste test, it's so different than like an ale. So different. This is something I'm learning through these videos and these reviews and stuff, is that the difference in beer's more pronounced than I ever thought it was. So in the 90s, before the real craft beer boom, it was a lager world. Right? So you had all your big guys like Budweiser and Coors and Molson and everybody. They were the beers you got. Even like Big Rock and Rickard's Red and all these companies, they were lagers, right? So this is very interesting because it definitely 100% a lager, super malty and that like corn sweet, but it's way more bitter than I expected. I always talk about like a time and a place for everything, like Coors and PBR and stuff. If this was like available just at every like little punk bar and dive bar I go to, because I love dive bars and I love punk bars. And full disclosure, I'm like 40 something, we'll say. But I love going to punk shows and I love going to metal shows, and usually they're going to be in dive bars because we're going to trash the place anyways. I mean, the less mature are going to trash the place. And these are the kind of beers you get. You get like PBR and everything. But if they just had like a little more like this, their beer sales would skyrocket, because this is one of the best Pilsners I've ever had, if not the best Pilsner I've ever had. The hops add so much to it. It cuts that, like, it's not adjunct, because they're not using adjuncts. They're not using rice or corn. But the familiarity you get from having this type, you think of that. And they cut it with these hops that make it bitter and a little fruity. And that just adds so much to the beer. It's absolutely outstanding. And call me an establishment fanboy, but man, oh man, you guys don't need to try so hard every darn time. Just making other beers just have to live up to your expectations. But hey, competition breeds success, right? So if everybody has to live up to a level, awesome. Then everybody's going to live up to a level. And that's what we want in the beer industry. We just want better and better and better beer. And I think we're really, really getting that. So you have maltiness, lots of malt. This was bitter first, then malt. But the malt eases into this neat, like, very fruity and floral flavor, tropical, but not like hard tropical, more like less bitter tropical, not oranges and pineapples, but like mango papaya kind of sweetness. Just like pure sweetness. And it has a really great mouthfeel. Yeah, it's really, really delicious beer. Super crisp. Super clean. You can drink this as cold as you want, I think. Normally you're going to leave like, especially with like ales, porter stouts, you're going to leave them out like longer and longer and longer depending what they are. Just because it brings out so much. This doesn't have that thing where you need to like let it sit and gas off. Well, you want to gas off, but it's not going to be super enhanced by a little bit of air. So it's, at 5.2, I won't say it's crushable or sessionable, but it's super easy drinking. Even though the can smells good, you get a little bit of the tin, but you still get that floral and fruity essence right off the bat. So absolutely fantastic Pilsner. Right up there with the best I've ever had. Establishment, part-time model, out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Canada's capital of beer. And they have a great brewery, and they're in a great, great neighborhood. So if you're ever in Calgary or you're from Calgary, definitely go in and check them out. You're going to be not surprised, but you're going to be in for an experience, because Establishment Annex and all the cabin, all these guys in the neighborhood, their taps are like outrageous. I can't say enough good things. I'm just going to quit now because I could go on and on about how great they are. Anyways, today's beer was Establishment Part-Time Model and New Zealand Pilsner. It was so good. Oh, man. So good. I can't. Crisp, clean, fruity, floral, malty. It's just like classic beer. So if you have somebody in your life who's not a craft beer drinker, and you think you can make them try stuff, at least if they're like brave enough to try something, this is the beer. If they're a Coors drinker, Bud Light drinker, most Canadian drinkers like that kind of beer drinker, part-time model. It might be that perfect bridge beer to get everybody trying more stuff. So definitely make sure you use that as an excuse to buy some. Part-time model, Absolutely fantastic establishment, always amazing. I think they're the first brewery we might have done 2 beers on. If not, leave a comment below. Again, leave a comment below, smash the like button, smash the thumbs up, smash beers. You can find us on all our social medias at Fermented Nerds. Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Be sure to like us there, follow us. We're always doing more stuff. Be sure to check out our other shows on this channel. What's Brewing, where we talk to industry. Brown Bag Beer Review, where we just randomly try beer. And of course, this show right here, where we just sample beer, test it out, let you know what we think as honestly as we can, and not be too, well, I guess, can you be too favoritism towards a brewery? Like if I got Russian River, if I got Treehouse, I don't know if I could say anything bad. I'd feel bad. And I think establishment's getting to be like that, and Blind Man's getting to be a little like that. So just comment below if you think I'm fanboying. But it's hard to say something bad about establishment or Zero Issue or Blind Man or these breweries we really, really, really love, that everything they put out is awesome. And establishment's right up there. But you always worry that you get a whale beer. So you get a whale beer, you get Pliny, or you get Hayes, Julius. And you're like, oh, this is like the world's whale beer. And if I have this, I'll never like anything ever again. This is going to be the best beer ever. So that worry often comes in. And when I pick this beer out of the fridge to try, I was like, I've done establishment. I know I love establishment. Am I just not going to talk bad because I don't want to talk bad? Always worry. But this beer, honestly, was awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome Pilsner. So definitely check it out if that is up your alley. And if it's not up your alley and it's up other people's alleys, make sure they check it out. But always, please support local. If you have a local brewery, no matter where you are, my viewer friends, no matter where you are, go down to the local brewery, take your growler or your howler, fill it up, buy a 4-pack, and show us what you're drinking. You can contact us everywhere here in social media. Show us what you are drinking locally, and what we should try and get our hands on. Maybe you have whales. You can let us know what they are. Anyways, I really rambled on and on and on because I had a lot on my head, a lot to think about today. Especially because I'm not a Pilsner guy as far as craft beer goes. I'm an IPA guy, sours, like most of us on here. Anyways, and I really got like all these thoughts rolling in my head as I tape this review. So I'm gonna end it here. This was Part-Time Model from Establishment Brewing in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This is Fermented Nerds. I am Wally, and I am out.